Hey everyone, we're so excited to be here. We in Dubai, y'all. Shout out to Invite Only Global VIP who has put this amazing trip together, this amazing project together, and the fact that we get to not only sit with these amazing humans here and discuss all of the things that they're doing, but we also get to share that with all of you. And I think that that's one of the most important things for us, right? So we have had a lot of good times, right? But right now we're gonna get to a little business, okay? So I am Sue Fearless. I go by Sue Fearless. And a little bit about me, I do podcasting and TV production in the States. I'm also an author. I do a lot of things. I'm also a college professor, event activation. I also have my own organization called Fearless Women, in which I do coaching. I talk to the youth. I work with adults. I work with small business owners, and I, talk to them about financial literacy, business, how to build a business, and things like that. That's very important. During the pandemic, I learned a lot about the importance of having the back office of your business in order, because there was so many people that could not get funding during that time because of that reason. So I'm very passionate about that on the Fearless Women side. I also have a podcast, like I mentioned, it's called Sit Fearlessly. So I am representing for the podcast out here. All right. So without further ado, I want to actually, before I go into that, I want to talk a little bit about Invite Only Global VIP and what it is, and then also Fearless International Agency. So Invite Only Global VIP is, and I'm going to coin this from somebody that we met today, is the world's global concierge company. Okay, so we focus on 4 pillars, right? So first we focus on business. So we talk to entrepreneurs, business owners who want to come and visit other countries like Dubai, like the UAE, and expand their portfolio, right? Invest in real estate, things like that, which we're going to talk more about. And then we also have our artistry and entertainment pillar, which focuses on bringing artists from the United States to work with artists in other countries, right? Like Dubai and in the UAE, and also, for potential expansion of their portfolio as well, to get potential residencies and things like that. And also we focus on artist development. So we talk to them about name, image, and likeness, which is your NIL. I know some of you are familiar with it when it comes to sports, but also in your artistry, you should focus on that, because you are your brand, right? So you are your music, everything you're creating, but also you can maximize off of that, right? So that's something that we focus on. And then we have our adventure pillar, which a lot of you have experienced, right? Going on all of the excursions that you have since you've been here thus far. And I'm missing one. Luxury, most important, right? We're on a luxury yacht, okay? So those are the 4 pillars that we focus on Invite Only Global VIP. And then we have Fearless International Agency, which is the agency that is managing the entrepreneurs, the artists, and entertainers, okay? So we've been out here. Shout out to Sean, who, was gracious enough to allow us to do a live stream at the top recording studio in Abu Dhabi, which is the Barcode Studio, and that was amazing. We had some incredible talent in there, including Vina Love, and we have Tina B also, our violinist, who killed it. And we've been working just with a lot of amazing people out here, and we're just, so excited and so humbled for the experience. And I also want to give a major shout out to our mastermind, my business partner, Excel, who has worked, who has worked so hard in, pouring all of his soul into this project, because he believes in it so much. And because of that is the reason why I believe in it as well. So, we're invested in not only bringing people from the States to the UAE and, exposing them to this, but also working with the UAE and bringing them resources as well. And this is why we're sitting down having this conversation today. Okay? So I'm very excited. So without further ado, I'm going to introduce my panelists. Okay? So first we have Mr. Elijah Long. Okay? And I'll just do a quick, brief introduction, but I'll let them speak more about themselves. But he is an actor, film producer, Emmy nominee. He executive produced Rambo, Last Blood, and Tesla, and he has a movie premiere coming up called Beyond the Lights, for Beyond the Lights. Okay? Then we have Ms. Vina Love. Incredible artist, and now an international artist. Okay? Yes. Writer, video production, multifaceted Harlem princess in the building. Okay? Yes. And then we have the one and only Sean. Who is the owner, like I mentioned, of the top recording studio in Abu Dhabi, The Compound, which we got to visit and is incredible. He is also a producer, musician, and just a visionary. Okay, and then last but not least, okay, we have Ms. Zay Brown. She is the co-founder and CEO of the Brown and Ferguson real estate firm, and also a star on $1 Million Listing UAE. So give it up for that. All right, so I'm actually gonna have you guys say a little bit more about what you do and give us that story, and then we'll dive into the questions, okay? So we can start off with you.
I'm Elijah Long. I am a film producer. I'm born and raised in Chicago. I've spent the last 15 years in Los Angeles. So I'm excited to talk to you guys because it's amazing seeing people come from the US and actually take the time to learn the culture about the UAE. I pride myself on being one of the first few that are really deep and delved into Hollywood to actually come here and actually start a company, lay a foundation, and then move forward into production. You spoke about a film that I have releasing November 7th called Beyond the Likes. This film stars Terrence J, George Lopez, Matt Rife, who's the biggest comedian in the world right now. And amazing about Matt Rife is I brought Matt Rife to the UAE before he was Matt Rife. He had about 100,000 followers. He was the lowest on the totem pole as far as the followers. A year and a half later, he's the biggest comedian in the world.
I love it.
You know, and October 27th, he's headlining the Etihad Arena, the very city where we did his first movie. And so that case scenario lets you know where you can start and how 1 year could change your entire life.
Right.
And so that's essentially what the movie is about, beyond the likes. We want to go beyond the likes. A lot of people do things for social media, but what's beyond that? So with that being said, Dubai is beyond where we all come from, which is majority of the States, Canada, different parts of the Western Hemisphere of the world. There's a certain stigma put on this part of the world, but when you take the time, swipe your passport, and you actually come over here, you learn it's a whole new world of opportunity. And this is what I really appreciate about being on this side of the world. It was amazing that I was embraced the way I was embraced, because a lot of people knew my work before they knew me. And being a part of big productions like Rambo and, you know, Jamie Foxx's last couple of projects, I was able to come here, lay a foundation, and actually add value. The only way that you can, excuse me, the only way that you can come to the UAE and add value is to add value.
Right.
This situation, this country is not set up for you to go and say, oh, I'm going to try Dubai for a few months. You don't have a visa. Where are you going to get it? How are you going to try this? It doesn't make sense. So you have 3 months to figure it out. That's 90 days to come here, figure out what you want to do on that tourist visa before you either have to start a company or become an employee of someone else. But this is the world of entrepreneurship. You come here, you start a company, you build something, and you give this country something that it doesn't have. So the best way to maneuver around this part of the world is to come here, take a look around. You spend that 90 days figuring out what you have in here or in here that this country doesn't have. This country is only 50 years old.
Right.
So to come to a country that's only 50 years old, my mom is older than 50.
Right.
So to have a country that is so young and so fresh, we have the years of experience in America to where we can come and bring a niche that is missing. This country has done something incredible, which is they've created a world and an environment that embraces everybody. I walked through the Dubai Mall. I'm from Chicago. I walked through the Dubai Mall and I'm like, what is that smell? I smell something. What is that smell that is so familiar to me? I walk a little bit further past the aquarium, and there's a Garrett's popcorn. How do you know to have a Garrett's popcorn for my Chicago self to come here? I'm like, what is happening right now?
Right.
So it's those little nuances. I remember a time when I was growing up, you could only get Krispy Kreme donuts down south. Then it moved to different parts of the Midwest. Then it, you know, so it spread out to the West Coast. I come to Dubai and they have Krispy Kreme donuts. It's like, what's happening? You know, so it has not just from America, but from different parts of the world. It has those different familiarities that make you feel like home.
Yes.
You're not missing. Oh, I miss my, you know. So it gives you a sense of home. Another thing that I love, there's a lot of conflict happening around the world.
Yes.
That doesn't happen in this bubble. It's a protected bubble to where outside of here, they'll say, oh, they're strict. You can't do this. You can't do that. However, now we see what a lawless society looks like. And we run from there to a place like this to where you have not only safety, you have opportunity. I don't worry about my female friends leaving a party and traveling at 3 a.m. I know you'll be home in 20 minutes, you know? So it's a level of quality of life that we're not used to. We're so used to things being chaotic and messed up to where you come over here and it's like, oh, I'm supposed to go home safe. I'm supposed to not get messed with. You know, I'm supposed to be respected. So with that being said, it's a continuous revolving door of respect if you come here with respect.
Yes.
And the most amazing thing is most people that come here 16 hours from across the globe to be here, those aren't the people that came here to BS and mess around.
Right.
You know, so there's no gatekeeping in Dubai from what I've experienced. Every time I meet someone, I tell them what I do. They're like, oh, you should meet my buddy. He does this. Or my other friend has been trying to get in movies forever. You guys should meet. He wants to invest. It's not a, hey, give me 10% and I'll take you over. It's like, yo, it's a community. And the most amazing thing is building a community abroad where you come from. You're forced to step out of your comfort zone. You're forced to network. You're forced to involve yourself in other realms of culture that you, in other words, would not have been a part of.
Right.
And so I myself, I brought my knowledge of the entertainment industry. The film industry is a $46.3 billion industry. They don't have the infrastructure for that here.
Okay.
They don't allow unions, right? So there is no minimum pay for an actor to come here and say, oh, okay, this is the minimum you have to pay for this particular actor role. So there's ways around that to say, okay, if you want a sustainable future in entertainment, we have to give certain minimums. We don't have to call it a union, but we have to put parameters to where this can be a thriving part for entertainment. And so my main focus, I work a lot with Dubai Tourism. I consult for them. And with that being said, I let them know what's going to be profitable, what would hurt them negatively, what projects to bring here, what not to bring here, what artists to bring here, who not to bring here. They consult me on a lot of these different things. And I'm just happy to bring back, produce in the region, and hopefully tell a different story that's been told in the past.
Woo! I mean, we're hiring Elijah. Thank you so much for sharing all of that information. Like, extremely valuable. And I think that speaks to what, you know, Excel and I have been talking to you guys about this whole time, is how to come here and, you know, be open to these opportunities, right? Because they're here for you. It's a 50-year country. That's it. That's it. So there's so much still that they're growing and developing on, guys. But thank you for that. I appreciate it.
Absolutely.
Yes. Miss Vina Love.
Hey, it's your girl Vina Love, the Harlem Princess. If you don't know, now you do. And I'm here in Dubai, officially now an international artist, and that feels amazing. For those who don't know, I have my own record label, Amore Live Records. I distribute through Empire. I'm a songwriter and actress. I direct, I edit, I model. I do it all. Whatever you put in my face, if it's meant to do, I'm gonna do it. And I think it's really special being here for only 4 or 5 days and having made the connections we've made with the people that have come with us. It's been nothing but great energy, super inviting. The hospitality is amazing, and everybody is on the same realm and mindset that I'm in. So coming from the States and being here with you guys, and this is already what you guys do. I'm on your side of town. It feels amazing. I feel welcomed. I'm excited to do more business. I'm excited to see what else we can do all together as a whole. And yeah, I think I'm not gonna say much. I feel like these things are pretty self-explanatory. We're here for a reason. Yeah. You're gonna see it. It's gonna get greater. It's gonna get crazier. And we want you guys that are watching to know that it's possible for you too. This is not just for me. I come from Harlem, New York. I'm just a little girl from Harlem. My mommy sitting right here looking at me proud. And I had to work just like anyone else had. You guys got to put that work in too, and it's possible for all of us. The world isn't this small. It's bigger than you could even possibly imagine. So if you can make it out of where you're from, in this circle that you've been in your whole entire life, you can leave from there and get to one other place. There's so many other places you can get to. And all you got to do is create this formula and have a group of people that really believe in what you want to do and really see the vision and really want to take it to another level. So I'm extremely grateful. I feel extremely blessed to be next to these people right here. And yeah, we have so much to talk about. So
I love it. And I think I want to mention real quick, like you mentioned gatekeeping, right? So Venus come here. She has met so many amazing people that have opened up the doors for her to do a live stream, to get on a radio show and have an interview, to get on a live TV and have an interview and perform her unreleased song. Okay, this is what we're talking about here. It's like we're trying to remove all the gatekeeping. Like Vina said, the world is your oyster. It's a large world out there. So I just want to emphasize on that because that's how we have to start thinking moving forward. Okay, all right, Mr. Sean.
How are you? I'm Sean. So I'm the owner of the Barco Studio. Came here 10 years ago as a pilot. I'm an instructor pilot, still flying and building a studio. It starts off as a studio. It's turned into like this small mini media empire. Our pillars are film production, audio production, and basically artist management and development. And it all just, for me, started organically. It was just a niche that was filled, needed to be filled, met the right people. I think you touched on some really good points, right? One of the reasons I think Dubai is so great, I came here, like every other expat, make my money and go back. All right, it's a 2-year contract. I've been here 10 years. I've sold everything in the U.S. and I'm full-time here because this is where I want to make a difference. And the reason being, to me, the respect and all that stuff that you get, but it's not just a 16-hour boat ride, right, or the plane ride to get here. The 16 hours, the effort that it takes to get here, you have to be educated. You have to meet certain criteria to even get a visa here. So now you're surrounding yourself with people that are like-minded, that are hustling, and that want to move forward, right? So now that's what basically the UAE is comprised of, is all these people that want to make a difference, that want to hustle. And if the entire world was the top 10% of every country, well, then that's our utopia here.
Absolutely.
You get the top 10% of every country of people that want it. Yes, the laws are strict, right? But so are the rewards, right? So the rewards are, to me, is the community that we get to build here. And like he said, all the different people. It's not about, oh, what's the 10%? Like, oh no, let me introduce you to this person. Because that's the community, and the creative community here was really good. For me, the studio started off as there was something missing, right? There was no place for young artists. For me, it started off on the audio side. There was no place for young artists, and then I got into the video production side because that all started for me around music videos. And then as my team expanded with my cinematographer, he's done so many more big projects, film production. So that obviously, as we collaborated and joined companies, now that became, his resume became what my company is, right? And what we can do. So it's just that much more we can offer, And then we have Kristen, she's over here somewhere. She's big on branding and making doing the whole artist portfolio, and you talk about the nil. That's so for me, it started with artists, and if I could just do it with artists all the time, that's what we would do. All the other stuff is to pay the bills.
Right.
Outside the artists, it's all the sports stuff that we do and the other films that we do, commercials. That's to pay the bills.
Right.
For us, the passion is making a difference for what she felt this weekend. Right.
Right.
That's
Right.
you are what I built this for.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Amazing.
That's
Amazing.
a little bit about me in the
Thank
studio.
you so much, Sean.
Thank you,
The niche, y'all. I want y'all to keep that in your mind. The niche, right? So I also teach entrepreneurship and business. And when I talk to my students or my clients, that's what I talk to them about. What niche are you filling? Have you done your research? What is missing in the industry you're trying to get into, right? That's what we have to think about. Even as an artist, you know, what music you're putting out there. Are you staying true to yourself? You know, we've talked about that too, and how the industry can try to make you, you know, mold you into being somebody that's not authentic to you. You know, so I want you to think about what your niche is. I want you guys to keep that in mind. But Ms. Zay Brown. First of all, we're talking about community building. We're talking about how you come here, you build relationships, you share resources. From the moment we arrived here, I think Zay has shared like 10 resources with us, okay? She's like, no, listen, this is what you can do, this is what you can do. So, you know, we're very appreciative. Yes.
Of course. Well, firstly, I just want to say I'm happy to be here, and a huge thank you for putting this whole thing together. I think I've been out here now for just under 6 years. So I'm 28 now. I came out 22 years old. I didn't know anybody in Dubai. I'm born and raised in London. So, you know, coming again from the west side to the Middle East, there were so many misconceptions about the UAE and what it has to offer. You know, I came as a single woman. I'm 22. People are like, are you sure you want to live in the Middle East as a woman? You know, and it was this idea of the unknown. And there's a lot of propaganda that will steer you into one way to think a type of way. So one thing I'll say is the second I got here, I packed all these long sleeve tops and these trousers and long dresses and realized that I didn't need any of it, because this place is the most forward thinking, the most accepting country I've ever lived in. I traveled around a lot of places in Asia, and this is really where I landed. The thing that brought me here and made me stay here, I would never go back to London, okay? I love my family and I go back and visit, but I'd never go back. And I'll tell you why, because you can't put a price on safety. So I basically built this, you know, business with my wonderful partner who's sitting here today, Dylan. So, so he's the Ferguson Brown, Zay Brown, Dylan Ferguson. So we created this business together. And again, it was about filling a gap in the market. So we wanted to effectively create a boutique real estate company. And whether you know anything about property or know nothing about property, it doesn't matter, because you can still make money with us. What we do is we're all about referral business and referral schemes. So we connect people all around the world. People literally will say, she's the plug for the Middle East. Anything you need, she will get you, okay? So whether you need cars, helicopters, photo shoots, like villas, parties, whatever, we take care of everything for our clients. So we're a one-stop shop entity, not just real estate. We can help you set up your business, your trade license within 2 weeks. We can get everything done for you from A to Z, the golden visas and everything. What I'll talk to you about today will really be about the incentives behind that. What I will say about what the UAE stands for is only 12% of the population are local Emiratis. So let that sink in. 88% of the people in this country are expats that have left everything at home, sacrificed leaving their families and friends to be in this country to basically create a better life for themselves. So I've been here 6 years. I've, you know, built a business with the love of my life. I've been on a TV show. I've done all these things, but it wouldn't have been possible if it wasn't for this country and what it stands for. And I think, you know, just echoing everything that people have said on this panel, including Elijah, including Sean, including everybody here has something in common, and it's because they want to succeed, they want to thrive, they want to grow. And I think that's why we're all sat here today on this yacht, you know, because everybody here, whether you speak to 1 or 10 people tonight, you're going to form a connection that will be very much like knowledgeable and helpful, and it might come back to be rewarding 3 years later. You know, I meet a client today, right? I might not hear from them or you know, speak to them in years, and they'll come back, they'll refer me their friend, they'll end up closing a 40 mil penthouse, and I'll make a great commission, I'll pay them a referral, right? So it's really about, I always say, the most valuable thing you can have is your network. That's the most valuable, whatever industry you're in, whether you're in real estate, music, film, TV, it's all about connecting people, and that's what we're all here today to do. So one thing I will say before I pan it back is, whoever you are, don't matter how shy you are, we're all here to network, converse, introduce yourself. Don't be shy. Put yourself out there, because we're all here to bring each other up and uplift each other and get each other through those doors, okay? Yeah. So I will leave you with that. Yeah.
Thank you. It's all about relationship building, y'all. All about relationship. I'm a travel junkie. So everywhere I travel, I make sure that I meet people. Every single place. And I'm an introvert. I get shy. But I know that everything I do is for a purpose. So if you position yourself in a situation, make sure you meet somebody, make sure you exchange information. You know, like you said, it might not translate into something at the moment, but 5 years, 10 years down the line, it might translate into something, right? You guys have heard Excel talk about all of this entire time that we've been here. This is the confirmation. Okay, so when he's all in our ears, like, this is what you got to do, this is what this means, this is what this means right here, y'all. Okay, so it is very important to expand your network, expand your horizons. Like you guys mentioned, we've taken 12 16-hour flights to get here. That's an investment in itself. Okay, you're coming here to meet with us, to be around us. You don't know what's going to happen, right? You're meeting, some of you are meeting us for the first time, you know, so we're grateful that you have invested and have made it out here, and this is definitely going to be just all a blessing for you if you take advantage of it, listen to the information and learn. Okay?
I want to say something on that.
Yes.
To you guys, I've lived here for 10 years, and you've introduced me to people this week that are in this country that I've already made connections with. We're already starting on working on stuff. Mm-hmm. And it was this week, like, the guy was right up the road from me. Never knew him. You guys came, made the introductions. We already have plans in the works. So thank you for that, because man, I love that guy. Shout out to Dante Kennedy.
Love it. That's what I'm at.
But that guy's right up the road from me. And I've been looking for someone of that caliber for the studio for a long time.
Absolutely.
And then when we met in person the other day, man, it just clicked. We've been on the phone 2 or 3 times.
Shout out to Dante Kennedy.
Shout out to Dante. Dante is the reason we are here.
That is such a great segue to Vina, because Dante, shout out to you. Thank you so much, you know, for believing in what we came to you with, you know, just opening up the doors for Versace Palace, where Vina Love, you know, killed it in her performance at the Q's Lounge. You know, we're just so grateful for that. And I actually want to go to Vina, and I want Vina to share what her experience has been so far performing at the Versace Palace and also doing Dubai Eye and going on TV.
So I flew in Thursday. As soon as I got off my flight, I flew into Dubai. I'm going to be specific because I want you to know that this is not just, like, it wasn't like so I'll be very specific. I got off my flight, we got to Dubai, got to my hotel, repacked the bag, drove to Abu Dhabi to Barco. We had rehearsal. I met the entire team. That was day one. Rehearsal was going so well, and we had so many different ideas that we ended up staying for a longer amount of time, to where Excel was like dragging me out the door. But we were really enjoying each other's time, and we saw what we could maximize and how to fix so many different things. And because we connected so well, we spent a lot of time on it. And then next day was show day. I went back to my hotel in Abu Dhabi, woke up, got dressed, came, did the show. Absolutely amazing. Shout out to Maestro. Shout out to Tina as well. Tina had an amazing performance. It was amazing. And shout out to everybody at Barco, sound, camera, everything. It was amazing. The whole entire experience was absolutely amazing. So that was definitely him. Like, we just instantly connected. He understood what I was going for, and he could hear what I was capable of, and even see me beyond what I was appearing as. Like, he can see so much more from me and for me. So that was an amazing experience. After the show, we drove back to Dubai. And then I had to wake up and do an interview, I believe. Yeah, I had to do an interview. And then after an interview, I don't know, like I'm trying to remember everything at one time, but just know, I was doing interview after interview. I was meeting people, we were doing events, we were doing so many things, and everything that was on my itinerary, we did. Everything we had a flyer for, we did. And everywhere we went, there wasn't a place that I didn't feel welcome. There wasn't a place that I didn't feel like I could be Vina Love, like I couldn't be the artist that I am. And something that I kept hearing was like, yo, we don't have a you here. And I was like, okay, what does that mean? So as the days were going on and I'm having more and more conversations and I'm doing interviews, I can understand what they're saying. Like, you have to see your niche. You have to see what it is and where you're going. What are they missing and what can I bring to this table? And being a woman and being from New York, there's a certain type of pizzazz, there's a certain type of conversation. If I wasn't outgoing and if I was shy, then nobody on this panel would be able to see anything that I had to offer, and they wouldn't want to force it out of me. So you have to appear as the person that you really want to be, so that having a conversation with Elijah, he can tell, like, oh, okay, yeah, she is an actress. I can put her in this movie. Right. Doing a show with him and it works out, he can say, hey, I'm going to Australia. I need an artist. Okay, let me call Vina. I know she's going to show up and do what she has to do. Even in real estate, I have nothing to do with real estate, but I got friends who need cribs, right? So Zay, hey, I got a couple friends that are trying to move to Dubai. Perfect. It's all about helping each other, and just because you do music, that doesn't mean that's the only thing you have to do. So throughout these days, that's what I've been learning. I'm more than just an artist. I'm a businesswoman, and it goes further and deeper. So
one of the secrets, you didn't know this yet, but so I'm partnered with Music, and you guys have met Marcus.
Yes.
So our little post the night before, and I didn't connect the dots because I'm doing 50,000 things.
Yes.
He saw our post that night, sends me a message. He's like, yo, dude, let's get her on the TV show. Can we do the interview? Can we put her on? So, and we had the same contact. So I was like, can you take care of that? Because like, we're busy, she's busy.
Yeah.
Let's line up the schedules. But like, our post the night before the show, very impromptu. It was like, hey, we need to put a post up tomorrow about the live stream, right? That little post is why those other things happen.
And all it took was for me to be there, be present. And I think that's what we've been, like, if you've been watching me and Excel and Sue throughout the entire year, we've been doing panels in the city. They've been going to they went to Atlanta, they went to so many different places. And we have people here that, you get what I'm saying, like from New Orleans, people that really like from Staten Island, all different kind of places. And we really did the work to get people to understand, like, what we're saying is not just a dream. We're not selling your dream. What we're saying is what we've done in our careers, because all it takes is for you to be in that one place, to have that one conversation, to change everything. And that's what's been happening for me. I've only been here for 4-5 days. You guys have no idea the amount of opportunity that have come from these 4 or 5 days. So yeah.
Congratulations.
Thank you, Vina.
Thank you.
You have to shoot your shot, y'all.
Yes.
I'm here with my young daughter, and literally she shot her shot this weekend and shared with some top people about what she's passionate about doing, and she doesn't even know what she's getting herself into. You have to shoot your shot for yourself, y'all. Nobody is gonna do it for you. Even if you're shy, even if you're introverted, you have to believe in yourself, right? That's the beauty of doing things that you're passionate about, because you can talk about it all day and all night long with everybody you encounter, right? So yes, shoot your shot. All right, so we don't have too much time, but I do have just one question for each of you, which is a different question for each. But I'm going to start with Zay. I do want you to share with everyone what it looks like to start a business out here, what it looks like to invest in real estate, and how does that translate into, because there's no taxes here, right? And how does that translate if you're someone from another country investing in?
Okay, so effectively everything out here is just super quick, super convenient, super fast, right? You won't even believe, like, when I give you these time frames, if you're a cash buyer and there's a cash seller with no mortgage on the property, I can literally sell the property to you from start to finish, from contract signing to keys and title deed in 72 hours. That's how fast it can be done out here, because everything out here is on like the apps. It's very fast, it's very efficient, everything's been digitalized, and it works really well. If you're a mortgage buyer, cash seller, it's like a 6 to 8 week period. So one thing I want you guys to remember is that if you need to buy, it's very fast. If you invest 2 million dirhams in value for the property, you get a 10-year golden visa. Now, the UAE don't offer a citizenship, so like lots of people want to obviously, you know, maximize and get more passports. There's no citizenship unless you marry an Emirati. So ladies,
Right.
you know, but like the only way really to do it is the 10-year golden visa, okay? And if you were to set up your own company, obviously you can renew your own visa every 2 years. If you were to set up your own business and trade license, we are partnered with 2 very good corporate service companies, and effectively most of the time it's between 2 to 4 weeks max to set up your business. You don't even need to be here physically to do any of these things. You can be POA. Obviously, if you're medical, you need to fly in and do these things. But overall, what I want to explain to you is these things get done in weeks. I'm not talking months, I'm talking weeks. In terms of tax, obviously, US guys, I'm sorry, it's not as great because obviously you aren't getting the same tax relief as like Europeans, but you're still getting a lot of other benefits, you know, like there's no capital gains tax, income tax. There's so many things that you benefit from when you invest and move your money out here. I've got people from the UK that dissolved their entire portfolio and liquidated it to invest in Dubai. Now, in terms of price points, you can literally invest anything starting from literally 1 million dirhams, which is the equivalent of like 300,000 US dollars. And I mean, like, when I say invest, that's not all the capital up front. Like that's over a payment plan. You get the keys in 2 years when it hands over and delivers. It's under construction. So your down payment, entry price, really like bottom like entry price, you only need like maybe 50,000 to 100,000 US dollars to get yourself on the property ladder. I tell this to people because people think that in their 20s, like, oh, you know, being on the property ladder seems such a far away vision. And I want to let you know, like, I did it and it's doable here. You got to get yourself on property ladder. If you speak to any billionaire, entrepreneur, millionaire, people that are up there, the people that you aspire to be, like the freedom, the financial freedom that you want, all of them will tell you that real estate is a huge pillar of all of that. So I always say and stress that get yourself on that property ladder, and it's so doable here in this country, even if you don't need to be here. Just keep an investment portfolio. The ROIs you can get here are between literally like 5 all the way up to 10% net ROI. So like it's crazy, right? This is a leading city. The tourism is 16 million people this year is expected from this one country. So Airbnb demand is there. The population is up 1.5% each year. From 2021, we've had 300,000 more people live here. So like what I'm saying to you is that you're getting in at a good time, even now if you're choosing to invest. This country, like you said, is only 50 years old. Think about what London was 50, like at the start of their rise. Think about Hong Kong and all these leading cities. So even if you aren't in a position to invest in real estate this year, everybody I know in this room knows at least 5 people that are in a position to invest. So monetize that and leverage those connections. Send me a name and number. I close the deal. You get paid 30 days as soon as that deal is transferred. So like I had someone call me up and literally say, Zay, I know you're in real estate. I know we haven't spoken since uni, right? So that's like 5 years ago. And he said to me, here's my boss's number. She went and bought 6 properties. I wired him £15,000, which is like $17,000, and that was just in the space of a DM on Instagram, right? So what I'm saying is, whatever it is, whoever you know, just come up to me today. I'll give you my business cards and just literally shout us, and we can monetize your connections, right? It's all about networking. So yeah.
Thank you. Listen, I'm a baby investor. I'm investing in the States, but ever since I've been looking into Dubai, I get a plethora of emails on investing in Dubai, and I'm just like, that 12-hour flight is not that bad, okay? They feed you the whole time you're on there. You can sleep the entire time you're there, come back and maximize, right? Make your money, okay? So that's very important. Thank you so much for sharing all of those jewels, okay? Because I think that you guys definitely need to think about investing. I think that's the freedom of time, building generational wealth, okay? We're thinking entrepreneurship. Thank you for sharing that, yes. So, Mr. Elijah.
Yes.
I want to talk to you about, I know you mentioned that, yes, you came here, all of the doors were opening, you were building relationships, but what has been a challenge for you and maybe for other of your colleagues that you've heard coming into this country, going into entertainment and acting? What has been a major challenge that people need to take into account if they're coming here to do what you do?
Understood. So as far as a challenge, I would say learning a way to articulate to the government, the Emirati people, the powers that be, why X, Y, or Z is important, and how do we usher this new idea in, still within the confines of the rules, regulations, and the morals and values that Islam presents. That's been one of my top challenges. However, becoming a bridge between the two, to where I've been here long enough to where I understand why, and on the other side, I understand the value of allowing a creative to be a creative. You can't properly create if you have handcuffs on your creativity. So you have to find a creative way to merge the two. And that's been the only challenge, which has turned into me venturing out, meeting new people, even more powerful people who think like I think. If you follow the Crown Prince, Faza, on Instagram, very forward thinking, always doing something crazy on Instagram, sitting at the top of the Burj or having coffee on the top of the Museum of the Future or skydiving. He's very athletic, runs marathons. He thinks outside the box. You speak about a golden visa. I'm one of the blessed ones to have a golden visa. My golden visa was given to me by the Minister of AI, Omar, and the Minister of Culture and Youth out of Abu Dhabi. The reason why I was given that, because I came here and I created an event called EOE. EOE stands for East of the Emirates. What this event does is I culminated all of my network in America. And I said, look, listen, this place doesn't have its Cannes Film Festival, okay? People come here, the film festival didn't last that long. The reason why is there was no call to action. What they like to do here, as you can see, they like the biggest, the tallest, the longest, they love the flash. Individuals like the 88% of expats that come here, we tell him how to take that capital, that flash, and turn it into something that continues. So with that being said, I learned when I filmed my movie here, I couldn't hire a lot of the locals like I wanted to. The reason being, there is no film industry.
Right.
So therefore, they didn't know how to work on a film set. So I said, knowledge is something that you need. So with that being said, I said, let me create an entertainment festival, not a film festival, an entertainment festival. Therefore, they're entertained while they're learning. So I said, why not have masterclass that everybody's seen online? Why not have masterclass in person?
Right.
So I bring the makeup artist from Avatar. I bring Jamie Foxx here to teach acting. How many people have sat here and had A-list artists do a table read in front of you?
Right.
You know, I bring writers here. I bring Quentin Tarantino here to do a tutorial on directing, how to edit on this level. So if you bring these different type of panels, at the same time, you bring Star Talks,
Yes.
right? This is how you open the dialogue. You have individuals from different parts of the world, and you have individuals from here saying, okay, how can we fill these streets with a bunch of caravans and star trailers, and so you can, it's filming everywhere consistently, to where it's just one-offs. Because right now people come here, they film the skyline, and then they're gone.
Yeah.
So what we want to do is we want to have them film here, stay here, build here, and have it continuous. So how do I melt their thought process with the creativity and make it simpatico? So the challenge has been becoming the bridge, but that also ushers in myself to be more creative as to how to put those pieces of the puzzle together.
Yes.
So being the conduit is very key, to where like I said, we're from the Western world, so we have completely different ideology of how we make things happen. But when you learn a new culture and you learn the why,
Yes.
this is what makes it important for me to say, okay, let me do a movie to where I bring this side of the world, but I understand their culture and I blend it together. And so that's the respect with the creativity. And that's what makes the marriage.
Thank you for sharing that. It's all about creativity and thinking outside the box. And I like that you said, what is the why? That's like the most important factor. What is the why, right? So a lot of you came out here to, put your talent forward. What is the purpose? What is your why? Why are you here? What are you trying to bring also as well, right? I think that's super important. Take that with you today. So lastly, Mr. Sean, I want to ask you something similar, right? So in the music and production business, what have you seen to be the challenge that a lot of artists coming from another country like the US have faced when they come here and they try to bridge that gap or bring their talents out here?
Ooh, well, I think on the artistry side, just entrepreneur side in general here, I think for expats, the system is different. Like I can go to the States and I'm going to say, I'm going to open a business and I know what I need to do. I know who I need to call. There's times I'm just stuck. I'll get a letter that says you need to do something. And I'm like, I don't know what this is. I'm glad to comply, but I don't know what it is. So I think there's some challenges. So I don't want people to think we're saying how good it is here. And it is. But it's, have no doubt, it's a lot of work. And it's a lot of patience. And mostly the patience comes from you have to be able to adapt and understand the why and the culture before you're like, oh, well, our way is better. Well, that's part of it. You're in their country.
Right.
Right? You their guests, respect that. Right? And it's frustrating for us because we think our way is more efficient. I'm American and we're British. We do things better. Right? Well, that's how we're raised. Right? But you have to swallow that and then figure out that new way, figure out that new creativity. It humbles you of how to build that. So I don't want people here or who's ever watching the podcast, it's work. Now, everyone is sitting up here, it is work. I put in 18-hour days every day. I just happen to love what I do, so it's not work, but it is, it's a blood, sweat, and tears, and it's a hustle. And if you don't have that passion, don't get on the plane. Right? Because it ain't gonna work out for you. Your story won't be the same as you have it here.
And you ain't gonna be able to sit with yourself on the way back on that 16-hour flight.
As far as artists, when I first got here, what part of what drove my passion of what I wanted to change, and it's changed. When I first got here, you couldn't sing original music, covers only. You could go to any bar, original music wasn't allowed, and I thought that's absurd. How is that not possible? And I thought, oh, it's just in Abu Dhabi. But when I came to Dubai, it was the same way, right? So I thought, okay, we start with one bar at a time, right? So I would book somebody. I'd take one of my artists and I'd book them, and I would make the deal. They get to play 3 of their own songs, and then the rest of the night can be covers, right? And slowly it starts. Now, it's not a big deal, right? For me in my business, there's a lot of booking agents out there. I'm not a booking agency, right? I only want to work with artists that are doing original music. If you're not making something original, I'm not the studio for you, right? Because I want to be in that creativity space and given those artists opportunities. One of the things that I do like is the expats that come over. We have a bubble here, and people that are raised here are raised in a little false bubble, right? And that bubble meaning that the grind here is different. You can be a big fish in a small pond, but Vina in New York is competing with how many people? Right? I can get Vina on Cosmo here. How hard is it to get you on Cosmo in the US? That pool is different, right?
Yeah.
So for me, what I find, and to be fair, I think the truth is, it's the expats that'll build, that I'll work and build this with, because they know what the world is outside of here. She knows what that grind is. She knows what it is to get that door. She respects the opportunities that she's been given this week, right? Because she knows what that door, how many times it's been closed. We're not interested. You're too hood. You're too whatever, right? We're here. Hey, we love who you are. Let's make something work, right? So for the artist here, when we talk about me and Excel have talked about the exchange, Absolutely. I want the artists here to go to New York, and I want them to go outside of here so that they can also experience the exact opposite of what I try to raise my kids in here. I raise my kids here because of the culture and the multicultures. But I also think it's important for the artists that have been raised here to be pushed outside and see what that grind is like. See what that busking is like every day of the week.
I met an artist yesterday, Freak.
Yep, I know.
Freak is amazing, energy amazing. And he said something to me like, I never made a song with another female artist. And then he never made a song in English. And I was just like, that was amazing to me because I'm like, you make music. Like I listen to your stuff, you make music. And I feel like not only are you coming here to meet people that you're gonna, make money with and connections with, you have to still be business minded. If you're gonna come here, meet artists and make music with them, so it makes sense for you to be here. So it makes sense for you to go do a show. And then essentially, you're gonna start merch, you're gonna start a tour, you're gonna start this, and then you're gonna bring them to your hometown, and now they're bringing their people to your home. Like, it's just like I don't even really know the right words to use, but you just have to take every single moment and maximize off of it. Figure out and it's not just about money. It's about taking it a little further than that, those connections. And I said to I think one of your videographers the other day, like, I like 20-year connections. Yeah. Like, I want to do something with you, and 20 years later be like, yo, remember when we did X, Y, and Z? Like, those are the type of connections you want to make. So no matter where you go, whether it's Dubai, Africa, wherever you are, make sure you're not just going to shake a hand. Make sure you're shaking a hand, and then next month, yo, I got some business for us. Let's do X, Y, and Z, whatever. So just keep the ball rolling. Don't just stop as soon as you get the opportunity and feel like everything's going to happen for you. You have to continue to put the work in.
And there's still, look, in our industry, the creative, the music industry, like one of the things that it makes me like put my arms around artists is because artists are creative, and majority, I know this is a stereotype I'm about to say, but the majority of artists are not business minded. That's why they're so good at creativity. And business people are usually not so good at creativity. But in that what happens is the business people exploit the artists because the artists don't know what to ask for. And so for me, that's what I'm trying to merge is educate the artists on how to be better business people, how to be a brand, how to be their CEO. Because yes, this is just like Vegas, right? There's the flash, and there's still bad people here, right? Not everybody's good. There's still people here that want to take advantage of you, right? There's the fast talkers. They're gonna promise you the world. You still have to learn how to read people. You still have to learn. But the difference is that we all are sharing, and I've just met these two tonight, right? Is I can tell you if we had the conversation if Sue asked, we have all had failures. We've all had people screw us here. It's happened, but it's going to happen here. It's going to happen in the U.S. It's going to happen. That's just part of the journey of figuring out what you protect yourself from and who's real and who's not. That's not unique to Dubai. We're just more lucky because if you're fishing in a pond and the pond is smaller with people that are more qualified to have that conversation with you, that's what we're saying. Is the pond is a little bit bigger, a little bit smaller here, but those struggles and those realizations, we didn't get away from them. We faced them. We've fallen on our face. We've had bad deals. We've had deals that cost us monny. And I haven't even had this conversation with them. But if you're an entrepreneur, it's happened. There's no way around it, right?
I would say those kind of things, like those hardships, is what led me and my mom to start my own record label.
Same here. That's why we're a label too.
It was just like, it's like you want to have ownership over your things, and you want to have a say-so over your creativity. And then you want people to take you serious. So if you walk into the room and you say, I'm an artist, but I'm also the CEO of my own record label, and I have my own production company, and I write my own music, and I edit my own videos, and I edit my own... It puts people in a position to look at you in so many different lights and feel like they can do so many things with you and take you serious. Because in order to be able to do all those things, you have to have a certain type of mindset and a certain type of discipline. So when you get around other people that have been in those same, situations as you, it makes it easier for you guys to have these conversations and build.
I met my cinematographer. We're partners now. I met him through a failure. I failed. I got a project and it cost me $10,000 because the other cinematographer that was on the set failed me, led me down a road, and he bailed me out. We've been friends ever since.
He's amazing, by the way.
Yeah.
You're amazing.
Shout out to
Oh my God, thank you guys so much for sharing. Give it up for the panel, y'all.
And for yourselves.
Yes, for yourself, for being here. Yes, yes. I want to thank you guys so much for taking out the time to be here today. I know all of you are extremely, extremely busy. You're stuck with us anyway because you're here with us, but I know you guys are so busy, so we're so grateful to have this conversation. I really was passionate about having this quick, I know we're on a yacht, I know you guys want to party, and we're going to do that in a second, but I really wanted to have this conversation because, like you said, there's a lot of people who, I opened up talking about the pandemic and how people couldn't get funding for their business because they didn't have their back office in order. That's not only for business owner, that's also for artists. Artists need to understand. They need to get artist development. They need to understand the business in the industry. You need to learn how to read a contract. You can't just leave it off for everyone else, right? Because they will take advantage of you. And I think that that's one of the most important things that we focus on is, not gatekeeping and providing that information, education, and resources. And that is what we're doing with Invite Only Global VIP, with Fearless International Agency. And we're just so excited to be here in Dubai and to have been embraced, and in Abu Dhabi have been embraced, and be able to, be that bridge for our people that we talk to and that we connect with in the States, and bring this information back, and bring more people over here that we can all collaborate with, and introduce you to, and potentially bring you referrals. And there's a lot of success to be had, and there's a lot of amazing resources and information to be shared. Okay, so I'm just gonna close it off on that so that you guys can have a good time. But thank you to our travelers, our family that have become family. We have, Excel and I extend our gratitude to you, and thank you for being patient with us because we have been doing a lot in these past few days, but I hope you guys have enjoyed it. Tonight is the last night. We're gonna turn up, not as much as last night, but we're gonna turn up. So enjoy the food, enjoy the drinks, mingle, connect, okay? And yeah, that's it. Thank you guys for having me. I'm so Fearless, and we'll be back. Yeah.